Hello everyone, very good morning. I welcome you all to today's daily current affairs session. So without any further delay, let's just begin today's session. Okay. So the first news today that we have is related to the earthquake that has been experienced in Afghanistan. So, in this news, we will try to understand that how actually earthquake happens and what are the earthquake-prone areas in India that experience earthquake a lot, and how it can be prevented, and what are all the measures that can be that can be taken after earthquake happens. So all that we are going to see in this particular article. So without any further delay, let's just begin. So recently, an earthquake of magnitude 5.9 on the Richter scale struck eastern Afghanistan, killing over 1,000 and injuring many more. So it was of 5.9 magnitude. Richter scale is what used to measure the range of the or the magnitude of the earthquake. So it happens actually in eastern Afghanistan, and almost 1,000 people were killed, and many more were injured in this particular earthquake. The earthquake struck about 44 kilometers from the city of Khost, and tremors were felt as far away as Pakistan and India. So it actually covered 44 kilometers of area around the city of Khost, which is in Afghanistan. And it just not limited to the Afghanistan, but it actually also felt in the areas of Pakistan and India as well. Okay. So now, in this context, the article discusses the possibility of having early warning systems to mitigate the damage caused by earthquake. So ये जो न्यूज आर्टिकल है ये बात कर रहा है डिस्कस कर रहा है पॉसिबिलिटीज की कि कैसे अर्थक्वेक होने से पहले वी कैन हैव सम काइंड ऑफ अलार्मिंग सिस्टम जिसकी वजह से जो डैमेज हो सकता है अर्थक्वेक से दैट कैन बी कंट्रोल्ड ओके सो लेट्स जस्ट अंडरस्टैंड नाउ व्हाट आर द causes and types of earthquake that we are going to see quickly. Okay, so according to the theory of plate tectonics, the Earth's crust consists of lithospheric plates which are continuously moving relative to each other. So जो अर्थ क्रस्ट है वो बहुत सारे जो जो उसका लिथोस्फेयर वाला पार्ट है जहाँ पे लैंड है वहां बहुत सारे प्लेट्स हैं ठीक है और ये जो प्लेट्स हैं ये कॉन्टिन्यूसली मूव कर रहे हैं दे आर इन मूवमेंट तो ये एक दूसरे के साथ मूव करते हैं एंड कई बार ऐसा होता है कि जो प्लेट्स होती हैं इनके जो एजेस होते हैं ये एक दूसरे से टकरा जाते हैं ओके फ्रैक्शन के कारण and then there is possibility of having earthquake okay so these plates can get stuck at their edges due to friction okay when the stress on the edge overcomes the friction there is an earthquake that releases seismic energy in the waves that travel through the earth's crust towards the surface, resulting into tremors on the ground. So, जब जो ये एजेस हैं प्लेट्स की वो टकराती हैं तो उससे क्या होता है कि सिस्मिक एनर्जी रिलीज होती है इन द फॉर्म ऑफ वेव जो कि अर्थ क्रस्ट की तरफ ऊपर की तरफ वापस आती है एंड दिस इज हाउ इट रिजल्ट्स इनटू tremors on the Earth's surface or ground. Okay. Now, apart from such tectonic reasons, earthquake can also be of the induced type, so caused by human activity. Okay, so induced type of जो earthquake है वो कैसे होता है, जो human activities है उनकी वजह से, जैसे कि कोई टनल कंस्ट्रक्शन हुआ, रिजर्वायर फिलिंग हुई, इम्प्लीमेंटिंग जियोथर्मल, ओके, और ट्रैकिंग प्रोजेक्ट, so also from volcanic activity. So all these things when happen, which are you know man-made, can be said. So in that case, what can happen? Earthquake can happen. Now, how do we actually do the measurement of earthquakes? So that we are going to see in this particular slide. Okay. So earthquakes are measured by seismic station, which measure the shaking of the ground. So there are seismic stations which are measuring actually the rate or the magnitude of the shaking of the ground. So that is how the earthquake is measured. The National Center for Seismology under the Ministry of Earth Sciences in the nodal agency of the government of India for monitoring earthquakes in this country. So this National Center for Seismic, which is under the Ministry of Earth Sciences, is actually the nodal agency, okay, of the government of India. वो monitor करती है earthquake in the country, and so you have to remember this National Center of Seismology किसके अंडर वर्क करती है, किस मिनिस्ट्री के अंदर. दिस ऑल्सो यू हैव टू रिमेम्बर, इट वर्क्स अंडर मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ अर्थ साइंसेस. ओके, दिस इज द नोडल एजेंसी ऑफ गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया, जो कि मॉनिटर करती है अर्थक्वेक्स. ओके, कंट्री में कहाँ पे अर्थक्वेक्स हो सकता है, कहाँ पे आने के चांसेस है. सो ऑल दीज थिंग्स दे आर मॉनिटरिंग ऑन. सो फॉर दिस पर्पस नेशनल सेंटर for seismology maintains a national seismological network. Okay, so consisting of 115 observatories spread across the country. So there are networks of national seismological, this center, and what they do, they have total 115 network जो कि पूरी कंट्री में बिखरे हुए हैं. The information about earthquakes reported by NCS, which is again National Center for Seismology, is being disseminated to the concerned central and state disaster authorities in the least possible time in the initiate adequate mitigation measures. So जब ये इंफॉर्मेशन अर्थक्वेक की पता चलती है एनसीएस को, सो ये क्विकली जो भी कंसर्न सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट या स्टेट डिजास्टर अथॉरिटी जो भी होती है सेंट्रल या स्टेट की, उनको क्विकली कम से कम टाइम में दे ट्राई टू सेंड दिस इंफॉर्मेशन टू देम so that it can be mitigated, and जो भी इनिशियल स्टेप है वो जल्दी से जल्दी लिए जा सके. ओके, the Richter magnitude scale is used as measure of the magnitude of an earthquake. So कितने magnitude का earthquake है उसको measure करने के लिए we use Richter magnitude scale. The magnitude of an earthquake is a logarithm of the amplitude of the wave measured by the seismograph. So कितने एम्पलीट्यूड की वेव्स हैं, तो ये एक्चुअली मैग्नीट्यूड मेजर, इसके थ्रू जो मैग्नीट्यूड है ऑफ द अर्थक्वेक वो मेजर होता है. So given the relationship between the quantum of energy released and the wave amplitude, it is possible to convert the measured wave amplitude into the energy released from the earthquake. So the relationship which is between the energy released and the amplitude of wave, So it is quite possible to convert the wave which is measured, the amplitude of the wave which is measured into the energy released for that particular earthquake. Okay. Now in this particular slide, what we are going to do is we are going to see the earthquake-prone regions in our country, basically. So in India, what are the earthquake-prone regions that we are going to see in this particular slide? So we also have a map so that we can try to have a look on it. कि कौन-कौन से areas हैं, east में, west में, center में, okay, all those. So a total of 59% of the land mass of India, covering all the states of India, is prone to earthquake of different intensity. So 59% of the land mass. So बहुत ज़्यादा हो गया ये, approximately 60%. It is huge. Okay. So only around 40 and 41% of the Earth's surface in our country is not earthquake prone. Otherwise, 59% is earthquake prone. So based on seismicity, the intensity of the earthquakes experienced, and geological and tectonic qualities of a region, India is divided into 4 seismic zones. So zone 5 is seismologically the most active region, while zone 2 is the least. Okay. So total we have like 4. So zone 2, zone 3, zone 4, zone 5. Okay. So zone 5 is the highest, having the most active region for earthquake, and zone 2 is the least. So it moves from 5 highest to lowest to 2. Okay. So here in this you can see that zone 5 is the red zone. So this part of the northeast, then here we have this part in the north, all these parts. Okay, so these in this part in the north also here. And all you can see in this particular image. So you can have a screenshot of this particular image and then you can analyze it also later. Okay. So approximately 11% area of the country falls in zone 5, 11%. So all these that I have just marked is the 11% of the total area of the country. 18% is zone 4 and 30% zone 3 and remaining in zone 2. Okay. So you can also analyze, as I told you, you can analyze this image later also. Okay, so how we can do this mitigation process for for mitigating the impact of earthquakes. So how can we do that? Now through earthquake prediction. So earthquake prediction involves determining when and where earthquake will occur. So this can happen if prediction हो जाएगी, so it will be easier for disaster management authorities कि वो लोगों को उस जगह से थोड़े टाइम के लिए डिस्प्लेस कर देंगे, ठीक है, शिफ्ट कर देंगे, और जो भी जरूरी चीजें हैं, जरूरी सामान है, उनको शिफ्ट किया जा सकेगा. So all that can be happened if there is better prediction for earth. So since the parameters of the earthquake are unknown, it is near impossible to make scientific valid predictions for a certain day or month. So because parameters of earthquake उतने ज़्यादा known नहीं है, तो ये बहुत ही impossible हो जाता है कि scientifically बिल्कुल valid आप बता सको कि किस टाइम पे या किस दिन में या किस मंथ में exactly आप नहीं बता सकते कि कब earthquake आ सकता है, because it is still not possible too much. So earth warning system for earthquake. So sorry, early warning system for earthquakes. So in the case of seismic energy released during earthquake, two kinds of waves are noticed. There are the primary wave, which reaches first, and secondary one called the secondary wave, and they are most destructive. So जो primary waves है वो पहले feel हो जाती हैं, and secondary waves है वो बाद में feel होती हैं. वो जो है वो ज्यादा destructive होती हैं, वो ज्यादा घातक होती है, नुकसान पहुंचा सकती हैं. So if the primary wave can be measured in a timely manner, this can help predict secondary waves and their amplitude. So अगर टाइमली प्राइमरी वेव्स मेजर किए जा सके क्योंकि वो पहले होंगे and the secondary waves they will happen later, so it is easier that we can have a prediction related to the secondary waves and their amplitude. So if it is known that the amount of energy released is extremely high, trains and power grids can be shut down and the damage minimizes. So अगर ये पता चल जाएगा कि जो energy released है, amount of energy released in the first in the primary wave, then all the train station extremely high जो भी अगर अगर बहुत ज़्यादा extremely high रहा है energy in the first in this primary wave, then obviously the train and power grids can be shut down ताकि जो damage है वो minimize किया जा सके. So notably, Japan had a successful early warning system in place, which has helped the nation take precautionary steps to mitigate the adverse impact of earthquake. So we already know that Japan is very much prone to earthquake, and Japan ने बहुत ही एक अच्छा system बना रखा है अब, जो early warning system है, जिससे कि पता चल जाता है कि earthquake आने वाला है, and they have good precautions to take care of the adverse effect of earthquake. Okay. Now, earthquake preparedness. To reduce the impact of earthquakes on building and other physical capital, these structures should be so designed to make them capable of withstand earthquake. So जब earthquake हो रहा है, ऐसे structure बनाने चाहिए जो भी areas हैं जो कि earthquake prone है, तो ऐसी buildings बनाई जाए, ऐसी physical जो हमारी capitals हैं वो ऐसे हो, ऐसे structures हो जो कि earthquake के सामने stand कर सके. Seismic retrofitting can be used to alter existing building to increase their earthquake protection. So seismic retrofitting is kind of making a building which is earthquake safe. So जब earthquake आएगा तो वो जो building है वो safe रहेगी, it will not collapse. So it's like okay. Okay, so with this, we come to an end to this particular news related to earthquakes. What are all the important things which you need to remember from your exams perspective that I have told you? Now, let's move to the another news article. So, Chenkurinji is a new species. So, I'll talk about it. The Chenkurinji Wildlife Sanctuary derives its name from Gluta travancoricea, a species endemic to the Agastymala Biosphere Reserve, which is locally known as Chenkurinji. So it is a species. Okay, so we will read what is about. What is this, some important things about this, to which family it belongs, and because this is in news these days. So Chenkurinji belongs to the Anarchidaceae family. Gluta travancoricea was once abundant in the hills of the southern parts of the Aryankarvu Pass in Kerala's Kollam district, but its presence has depleted as it is very susceptible to climate change. So this was actually found in a district of Kollam district of Kerala. Yeah. और इसकी जो प्रेजेंस है अभी वो थोड़ी कम होती जा रही है क्योंकि ड्यू टू क्लाइमेट चेंज एक्चुअली. So the tree was widely seen in places such as Pandimala, Vilekumapara, Rosemala. So all these areas, in this area, this particular tree was found. Now, the tree is also seen inside the Shola forest near Kondumudi, but effective pollination hardly take place in the Shola habitat. So ये जो ट्री है ये एक्चुअली शोला फॉरेस्ट जो कोंडुमडी में है वहां पे मिलते हैं, बट पॉलिनेशन का प्रोसेस नहीं हो पाता है. तो इफ पॉलिनेशन का प्रोसेस ठीक से नहीं हो पाएगा तो ऑब्वियसली हाउ इट विल ग्रो. ओके. The tree is said to have medicinal properties and is used to treat high blood pressure and arthritis. So this is important. You need to remember this particular tree is having medicinal property and it is actually used to treat blood pressure and arthritis. The hardwood is sturdy with deep red color and trees were felled for wood earlier. So deep red color के इसके has it wood and ये बहुत ही स्ट्रक्चर इसका जो है वो wood like structure, heavy structure होता है. So with this we come to an end to this news also. Now we have another news which is related to rise in the temperature that we are going to see now. 2 degrees Celsius temperature rise can damage Earth's species. So what is this particular news? Let's just try and understand. A recent study of scientists highlights that global emissions are expected to cause the planet to continue heating rapidly over the next few years. And the global average temperature would reach the Paris Agreement's target, which aims to restrict the warming to between 1.5 degrees Celsius and 2 degrees Celsius. So जितना ज्यादा एमिशन हो रहा है इस समय अर्थ सरफेस पे प्लैनेट पे हमारे, तो जो साइंटिस्ट है उनका ये मानना है कि कुछ साल में जो टेम्परेचर है, ग्लोबल टेम्परेचर है, वो एवरेज से बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ जाएगा. एंड जो पेरिस एग्रीमेंट था जिसमें कि 1.5 डिग्री सेल्सियस से 2 डिग्री सेल्सियस तक के अंदर ही टेम्परेचर इंक्रीज रिस्ट्रिक्टेड रखना था, वो अभी अज्यूम किया जा रहा है कि दैट कैन एक्सीड नाउ. The study also reveals that a temporary overshoot would cause wave of irreversible extinction and lasting damage to thousands of species and requires the world to expect the make deep emission cut. So ऐसा assume किया जा रहा है कि ये जो temperature rise होगा इसकी वजह से जो बहुत सारी species हैं वो एक्सटिंक्ट हो सकते हैं, खत्म हो सकते हैं, बहुत सारी स्पीशीज को डैमेज हो सकता है बहुत ज्यादा लार्ज नंबर में. एंड इसीलिए इट इज वेरी वेरी मच एसेंशियल टू कट डाउन ऑन द एमिशंस दैट वी आर हैविंग. अगर एमिशंस कंट्रोल हो जाएंगे हमारे तो टेम्परेचर राइज जो है वो लिमिटेड हो जाएगा. The increase in the global temperatures above 2 degrees Celsius can impact the world's most important ecosystem, which includes the tropical forest turning into savanna, and the world would lose a critical global carbon sink, linking the planet more vulnerable. So this is understood that अगर 2 डिग्री सेल्सियस से ज्यादा अगर टेम्परेचर बढ़ता है तो जो ट्रॉपिकल फॉरेस्ट है, सवानास है, वो कहीं ना कहीं जो है जो एक्चुअली कार्बन सिंकिंग में हेल्प करते हैं वो उनको काफी डैमेज होगा. और उसकी वजह से जो हमारा पूरा प्लैनेट है, दे आर प्लेइंग अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल, एंड इफ दैट will not work then everything will collapse. Okay, so with this we come to end to all our news article today. Now we have some very important questions with us that we are going to see now. Okay, So the first question that we have is you have to find the correct options with regard to the Champaran Satyagraha. Okay. So we have three statements in front of us. So we will read them, understand them, and then we will try to get the right answer. First one is it was the peasant uprising led by Mahatma Gandhi. Second, it was directly against the forcibly cultivation of indigo on the land of farmers. Third one, the British constituted the Indigo Commission as a fact-finding committee and then came up with the Champaran Agrarian Law in 1980 to protect the farmers from forcing cultivation of indigo in the aftermath of Champaran Satyagraha. So the options that we have is 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 1 and 3, and all of these. So I hope you people can try to have a right answer for this particular question, because you can also use the elimination method here. So let's just see. Okay, so answer is the correct, which means option 1 and 2 are correct. Okay, now why? Let's just try to read it from the explanation part. So Mahatma Gandhi actually led the Champaran Satyagraha, and the farmers had revolted against the British, actually against the condition that they imposed on indigo cultivation. Statement 3 is incorrect because Indigo Commission was a commission set up in the 1850s by the British to look into the grievance of the indigo farmers following the movement of riots of Bengal against the European indigo plants. So the question was saying 1980s. It was actually in the 1850s. Whereas the Champaran Agrarian Law was passed by the British government in 1980. So this is correct. It was actually passed in 1980s. Okay. So then movement which abolished the forcibly cultivation of indigo on the land of farmers. So ये हटा दिया गया था in the 1980. Now we have some dams written one side and states written on the other side. Okay. Harangi, Tamil Nadu, Hirakunda, Odisha, Methun, Chhattisgarh, Tehri, Uttarakhand. So which of the pairs are not correctly meshed? Not correctly meshed. So you have to just tell how many pairs out of these 4 are not correctly matched. So means you have to find out the wrong one and tell if there is 1 pair wrongly matched, 2 or 3 or all. Okay. Okay, so B is the correct answer, which means only 2 pairs are wrongly matched. Pair 1 is not correct because Harangi is built across the Harangi River, which is a tributary of Kaveri and which is not in Tamil Nadu but in Karnataka. Pair 2 is correct because Hirakund Dam is building across the Mahanadi in Odisha. 3 is not correct. Methun Dam is in Jharkhand, which is built Barakar River, okay, जो कि दामोदर की tributary है. पेयर 4 इज करेक्ट. तेरी जो है वो उत्तराखंड में ही है और ये भागीरथी रिवर पे बना हुआ है. एंड जो तेहरी डैम है इट इज द टॉलेस्ट डैम इन इंडिया. सो ओके. So first is wrongly matched. Third is also wrongly matched because Methun is in Jharkhand and Hirakund is in Karnataka. 2 and 4 are correct. Okay, so only 2 are correctly matched, other 2 are not correct. So with okay, so we have another question. Who has sworn as the new chief minister of Maharashtra after the resignation of Uddhav Thakur? Devendra Fadnavis, Eknath Shinde, Sunil Prabhu, Sharda Pawar. So you have to answer this particular question. This is very easy. We are seeing this in news from like 3-4 days. Okay. So the right answer is Eknath Shinde. he has taken oath as the new CM of Maharashtra, which is led. He is a BJP leader. Okay. And Devendra Fadnavis is the Deputy Chief Minister. So with this, we come to an end to our today's news analysis. And I'll see you all soon tomorrow with another news analysis of which also will comprising of some very important questions of daily current affairs. Till then, keep studying, work hard. I'll see you soon. Thank you so much, everyone.